This is Agatha Carter, and you're watching the Urban Wrestling Network.
What's really good, Urban Wrestling Network? It is your boy, like he never left, Crooked Smile, and I am here with the man of the hour. I'm not even gonna say his name because it's got too many dandadas. I'm gonna let him introduce
The
his own self.
Dandadas. Listen, it's the OG Boricua Dandada himself. We finally got Crooked Smile out of, I don't know, work imprisonment or something. Like, we don't know what's going on in his crazy, hectic work life. Management life is kicking him in his ass. But he is getting the bag. So as long as he's getting the bag, nobody could complain.
Yeah, man. Like my body's feeling like I feel like I've been like in multiple wrestling events in the past couple hours. But
You
hey,
know, before we even go into this LFC thing, why is it so cold out here in Florida? Like, I might be wearing a sleeveless hoodie, but my blue hoodie is right here. I'm not going to show it to you because I'm trying to act cool like it's a regular day. But it is brick ass cold out there. It was like 32 degrees this morning. Like, what is going on with Florida?
you want me to act like the meteorologist again and tell you what's going on?
I mean, listen, it's
I'll say because the hot air and the cold air, they're getting ready to combine. All that cold air from Minnesota and everything is coming in a perfect line straight down Florida, is what I heard. So,
well, I don't like Minnesota neither. So, all
I
right.
don't.
What do we got
But-
for LFC, my brother? What do we got? I know we got something they haven't done yet.
So we got something big, something different, something extraordinary that could be an actual thing to happen if they actually hook it and actually reel it in. Um, we've been talking about a few things here. I'm trying to like delay it out because I want these people to be like on their edge of their seats. But
Facts.
no, we're talking about an LFC video game is what we're talking about right now. Chef has been on me about trying to get this video game pod going, and work has been not letting it happen. So I'm gonna let Chef talk a little bit about it, and then he can explain what he wants in the video game, and then I'll come off of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, now a lot of people think that the video games got to be all these crazy ideas, and it does not. Like, if you make a really good arcade game, it could bubble. You know what I mean? Like, there are games, and I had to screenshot them because I remember playing them, and I might sound like a perv, but on the original Xbox, there was a game called Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. And it was chicks in bikinis, and they had like power ups, and they did things, and you can unlock different outfits for your girls. How dope would it be? Because you don't see anybody ever like go off the top rope in LFC. You could just have a stationary ring or the cage and have the girls just duke it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's a basic idea because the more you win, you could go to like a shop, get different lingerie, like get a cooler like move sets and things like that. It is such a simple idea, but if they do it right, you could have such a dope game because
Yeah.
the WWE one, what's it called? Super Showdown or something like that?
Well, the one that's very fake
It's
looking
it's
and
the
they fly
yeah,
up in the
it's the
air and everything.
cartoonish one.
Yeah, it's Super Showdown or something like that.
It's
I
a
don't know.
simple it's a simple engine. There's nothing crazy about it. It's just fun, wrestling. You could literally have all these super hot girls, have them all come in. They all have their own little, finishers, things like that. Cool little over the top things. Maybe they jump rope holding a girl, something crazy where it's cartoony but dope as hell. Kind of like how Def Jam Fight for New York had the super finishers. Um, the idea to sit there and say, well, you could play with Bella Inc., you could play with Monica Flowerbomb Garcia, Allie Parker. You could mess with all these girls. They have a big roster. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
from 1 to, I think we're just finished 30, you have so many females, and it doesn't even have to have any kind of real storyline. It could have a tournament mode, kind of like Mortal Kombat, where you go up the ladder kind of thing and you fight your way for the title. I mean, the opportunities of making a dope game, and LFC has its own buzz. Nobody's got a product like LFC. If
Mhm.
you strike with a video game right now, you just dropped 30, and all these girls use their social media to promote this game, they all have their individual followings. I'm
Oh
going to
yeah.
be on a video game. Do you want to see me? Do you want to play with me? Now, honestly, if a girl says, do you want to play with me? I'm going to listen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just being honest. So there's so many. I mean, I'm like excited because I know this could work. This could be a real thing if you have the right people, or whichever way he is, who sits over and is part of a creative team to say this won't work, this will work. I play video games. He plays video games. He understands what people want. I understand what I want to play. You know what I mean? Like a smooth engine will get you mad far. You know what I mean? As long as it's not choppy. And there's no product right now that's like LFC. All these games have never came back out for Xbox 360 or Xbox One or Series or PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 289. You put this out there, you control your market. You corner the market. All of a sudden, these people who like this kind of game or like the fighting golf game or whatever it was, now everybody sits back and goes, "Oh snap, we have a fun game to play." And to be honest with you, the more lingerie, the better. You know what I mean? Like, so you go to your little shop, you spend some of your fighting money, maybe throw some bling in there. I don't know, but what would
definitely.
what's your take on that? Like, what would you think on it?
Well, obviously, I'm behind it. If I wasn't, I definitely wouldn't be doing the pod right now.
I'm busy right now.
Busy. It's definitely got money there waiting. You can always get a small company, either like a Midway. You can get a THQ. You can get a Ukes. I don't know if you can really get Ukes now due to the fact that they're going to be working with AEW. But THQ, Midway, you can get so many different, like Still Real Entertainment and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know who Still Real Entertainment is, but if you don't know who Still Real Entertainment, I believe they do the Dead by Daylight game, and they have some very nice graphics in there. And
Dead by Daylight series.
Oh yeah. So it's like you got a few different engines out there that you can go to and everything else like that. Like you don't have to have the EA Sports. You don't need the EA Sports Frostbite. You don't need the team that makes Call of Duty and stuff like that. Like you can have a low brand company, Midway, who did Impact, and they did phenomenal with it. And you'll still get your realistic stuff and everything else like that. That's if you want to play it on console. So let's say LFC does hit the ball and run with it with us, and they get Midway. You can always put it on the Xbox One S, X, whatever they want to call it now, and the PS5. If not, you can put it on the PS4 and the Xbox One, because the old gens are still going to. I can't even. Sounds so bad calling it an old gen.
Yeah, it just dropped recently, and you're like, well, the old generation system.
The old generation, yeah, because everyone's gonna be like, oh no, that's not the new generation. But you can even make it a mobile game, and like Chef was saying, the WWE's like Super Slam, Super Card, whatever game it is, you can always do that. Like even if you make it into like how WWE's done it, and AEW is getting ready to make their games with the little cards and stuff like that, where the two cards can duke it out.
Yeah.
And you either win or lose by, power ranking or however strong you have your card or whatever. You can go through that route as well. It'll work. Like you said, LFC has a following. All the fighters have their own following. So it's like, if you're pushing it, it can definitely do some decent business. Obviously, it won't do AEW numbers and WWE numbers until like people finally start saying it's like, oh, it's not like this is a legit game. Like you can easily break it down to where, and I was telling you this earlier, like I had no idea what I would really do with it just full on. But thinking about it, it's like you can make it sort of like UFC, because UFC, you're not running off the ropes. You're not, jumping off the top rope and jumping off the cage and everything else like that. You can implement UFC's fighting style, and you can put the WWE type moves inside of the game. So you're getting a mixture of both worlds. You're getting MMA and you're getting wrestling, just like the LFC really is. So I think it could definitely do some damage in the video game industry.
And like I said, there's nothing out there right now that has that LFC feel. You know what I mean? Like they have their completely own product. There's nothing like it. The faster you strike on this, and obviously games take a while. It's not like you're just going to be like, well, hey, but through all their social media and all their marketing and networking and everything else, I'm pretty sure even if, say, Midway comes at you and you're like, oh man, that's kind of a high price. Like at the moment, just say, oh, that's kind of a high budget.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that through their connections, they can find independent people who are looking to make their name and cut a deal with them. We'll work exclusively with you depending on how great this product works. If this game bubbles and everything works and it's smooth and fans want that second one, well, then let's talk down the line. You know what I mean? Like, let's work on this. You're looking for your in. We're looking for our product. It's a win-win for both people. And you just got to network it. And if need be, the two guys here, once again, I'll network for you. He'll network for you. We'll find him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how I got to Google search and everything else and whatever nerd technique I got to do, I'll figure it out. I might grab a nerd from outside, bring him upstairs, mask on, COVID safe, and be like, jump on my computer and go find me some geeks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just playing with all that. But on some real stuff, like, you got to strike where the iron is hot. Right now, they're super hot. Bella is on some next level, like super popping all over the place. You got people who are generating such a buzz in their own market that when they sit back and they're part of a game, their following go, oh, snap, I want to beat somebody up with Bella Inc. Or the girl who might not like Bella Inc. or Tomiko or Jolene Hex, because I'm pretty sure there's a few people that want to beat up Jolene Hex because she's just thugging and bugging everybody. I'm pretty sure you're going to have people like, I want to stomp her ass out, and you have the opportunity. And you're going to look sexy doing it too. I mean, hello, what are we doing here?
Exactly. And I think, like you said, it's a perfect idea. And if you do run into a problem where the cost comes into a little too much, you can always find another company that's gonna be like, you know what, risk is worth the reward. You know, if anything, you know, like we'll take a shot on you, and possibly, you never know, it could turn out to be a huge collaboration. It could be a huge success. And guess what? That company that didn't want to work with you on the last video game sees how well your numbers did, and they're like, hey, so last time you had us out, you know, we want to work with you now. And it'd be like, and if that game does well as it did, you could tell that company, screw yourself. You know, like, we got a company that cares about us. They believed in us in the beginning, and you know,
you don't got to go balls to the wall, make a universe and all this crazy stuff. Make an arcade game. Make something that's fun, like a great graphics kind of NBA Jam. You know what I mean? Like a fun game that's high volume, quick pace. And when people sit back and they're like, damn, and then when that income comes in, that's when you're looking at, oh, snap, now we could develop that WWE, AEW kind of full game version where you have a storyline, you throw your pink and black team in there, you know what I mean? Like, you have your different divisions and everything else, and you could really have a crazy amount of success depending on your first game. But exactly. The first game, but there's nothing like this. You know, this is why we wanted to do this, because there's nothing like this anywhere on any kind of platform. I haven't seen anything. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm all for an LFC video game. I know you're for the LFC video game. I think I'm covered all things, because you don't want to throw too much and give somebody else. You know what I mean? Because that's the problem. Because somebody else can say, "Oh, I like this. Let's jump on that." So we're trying to keep it limited for new LFC bigwigs to say, "Hey, let's get the wheels turning here."
I was telling Chef off camera different elements I wanted to put in the game, and what type of like a storyline per se I wanted to put in it, and how like a backgrounds to it. But Chef's like, "No, we can't do that. We can't do that. It's gonna be too revealing." I'm like, damn, like, but it's boiling. It's just like, I want to tell you. And it's like, if LSC bites on this, I will definitely be willing to give you ideas. I'm willing to, you know, express my thoughts, because obviously as a fan, I know what the fans are going to want. I know what the fans are going to ask for. And there's a couple different game modes that I would definitely be willing to tell you and give you an information about. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
we already know there's going to be an exhibition mode, so don't worry about the expedition. I can't even speak right now, dude.
Listen, it's all good. We're trying to protect LFC and their product. That's what we're trying to do. So when people go, wow, I thought they'd be more in depth. Well, no, because we don't want you pirates stealing their shit. You know what I mean? Like,
if LFC bites it, we'll be more in depth later on once the game's more developed. Then we'll be more in depth.
And then we can come on here and start flapping like some two stool pigeons who just got caught by the cops, and we won't shut up. You know what I mean? Then we can start singing and dancing out there. But for now, we're just trying to throw a subliminal idea, like, hey, listen to this. What do you guys think? Because this could be something super dope. And to be honest with you, not only does it promote their brand, it puts them in a bigger market as well, because some people who might not take it serious get the game because, like I said, what guy don't want to play with super sexy women? And then you might get interested. You might become a fan of a certain girl who, for some reason, you can't defeat, or a girl who just kicks major ass, and then you start doing a little more research, and all of a sudden it brings people to LFC.com. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. Listen, I got people who do music that would jump on this. The opportunity is there. It's just we got to keep it limited, and we don't want to feed anybody else any kind of information. My brother, did we cover as much as we could cover before we get in trouble?
I think we covered as much as we could before spoiling anything. Yeah.
There you go.
We can't, like, behind the scenes, if LFC wants to talk, we can definitely talk. I would definitely give you more insight of what we should do.
Oh, yeah.
I shouldn't say what we should do. I'll say what we could do. And, you know, like, I'm ready to jump onto this video game. If I had the money to just be like, you know what, hey, I want to make this video game right now, do it. So, yeah, that pretty much covers it, because we can't speak of too much more without spoiling it on everybody.
No, facts. So before we get out of here, let me just say www.urbanwrestlingnetwork.com. Plug your social media. I'll go last, and you cut me off.
All right, you can catch me on Instagram at crookedsmile_HT6. And like we've said in the past podcast, it's about to get crazy up in here with Crooked Smile. So go ahead, data. Go ahead.
So listen, on all social media, so Twitter, Instagram is going to be at Urban Wrestling Network. We do have the at Urban Wrestling Network Facebook page where we talk wrestling, but we have the LFC Dojo Club where we promote their podcast, our podcast, things like that on that page for Facebooks. For me personally, it's going to be at OG_Boricua. If you don't know how to spell it, my bad. _Don Dada, longest name in the game. If you don't know how to read, write, spell, no ebonics, don't bother looking.
We might have to start putting his Instagram in the description of the video.
Start
also,
don't forget
to go on LFC's page. It's going to be lingerierefc.com. Make sure you go ahead and get your subscription. It's definitely worth the money. You can see some great fights, definitely some beautiful women, obviously. Just make sure you go check it out, man. And hopefully by 2021, 2022, we got a video game coming for y'all.
Boom.